Evening vinyl community. Hi, hello, YouTube VC et al. Hope you're all doing really well. It's another sweltering evening here in the UK, and yeah, so I finally managed to chill out and relax. Very happy with certainly for those in the UK, England's opening game in the Euros did very well to score a 1-0 victory against Croatia. So happy days. Enjoying that the tournament so far, first couple of days. So it's all all great fun. So yeah, if you're into that kind of thing. So yeah, this is my usual just roundup of finds that I've acquired over the last week or so. So yeah, I'll get straight into it. They're all essentially from Ben, my usual shop that I go to in Stratford, with the exception of the first one, which is an online purchase. Okay, which is this. Okay, so this is Shaw by the Fleet Foxes. So yeah, I do like the Fleet Foxes. Always enjoy their work. They sort of come out with an album usually every sort of 3 or 4 years. In between Robin Pecknold taking time out to go to university and so on and so forth. So this is actually an interesting album because it's officially Fleet Fox's album, but there's actually none of the usual Fleet Foxes lineup playing on it. So this is essentially on one hand a sort of Robin Pecknold solo album under the title of a Fleet Foxes release. So I have heard a rumor that he intends to re-record or record some additional songs from this with Skylar and the rest of the band to then re-release another version of this, or expanded version, which would be a little bit frustrating because I've already shelled out 20 quid for this. So but yeah, we'll see what comes from that. So yeah, but this is a really nice record. So that's the gatefold with all the lyrics. It's actually it's not really a double album. It's like a full, hour-length album split over 3 sides, and then the fourth side of the record is an etching, which is okay. And just comes in the usual. So I don't know whether you can see the etching there. I don't know whether that's going to come out, but there's kind of like leaves and various kind of symbols that I guess represent some of the songs on the album. And yeah, I've only played this once all the way through. I didn't stream it before I bought it because I just basically pretty much enjoy everything that Fleet Foxes have put out. So it was a bit of a no-brainer to get this. It does come with a poster as well, although it's a little bit nondescript, I guess. Again, with the kind of symbols that are on the, which you can't really see, sorry about that. The sort of sunset there. But yeah, I mean, it's really nice. The first track, there's a lot of session musicians playing on this, who, as I say, aren't the usual members of the Fleet Foxes. The first track, "Waiting Waist High Water," is I can't remember the name of the guy who's singing on that. It's not Robin Pecknold anyway, but a beautiful song. In fact, the whole of the first side is just flawless, really, really good. Wave is a little bit on side two, and then kind of comes back again on pretty strong on side three. So yeah, all in all, a very nice listen. It's allegedly after the sort of grandiose introspection of Crack Up. This is allegedly a much more kind of positive affair, as Robin Pecknold wrote a majority and recorded a majority of this during lockdown. So this came out sort of back end of last year. Yeah, it's certainly shows a bit more of an upbeat, positive vibe for the group. Yeah, so yeah, nice listen. Okay, this was a really nice pickup. Paid up a little bit for this one. It's my favourite Van Morrison album. I've never actually owned it on vinyl. I've had it in various forms on CD. Was always waiting for a really nice original copy. And then Ben got this in. He's had it for a few weeks actually, but hadn't sold it. Was for flicking through and very glad that he still had it and thought I'd pull the trigger on it. This is an early US copy of Moondance, and it's a gatefold, which you rarely, or I've never seen a gatefold version of this album before. If somebody else has, I'd be interested to hear about it. Certainly in the UK, I've never seen one. And yeah, it's got like a reading or short story by Janet Planet, who was his first wife, which I've not read yet. Some of these images were actually on the unofficial expanded version of Moondance that came out a few years ago, which Van Morrison didn't officially approve of, but it still got released. So, which was interesting. Had some interesting bonus tracks on, but yeah, nothing more to say about this. It's a classic in his catalogue, and as I say, it's probably at a push. It's my favourite of Van's. So yeah, I mean, Stow Me, Moondance. The first side is just perfect. A Crazy Love, Caravan into the Mystic, probably my favourite Van song. And then the very upbeat Come Running, Dreams of You, Everyone Glad Time is very upbeat. Second side, yeah, just a fantastic early Van album. Okay, next few were some soundtracks, a couple of which I've been looking for a while at the right price, and luckily found them. So first one is this one, which is one that I don't see very often. I've seen it at record fairs, but it's usually quite expensive. This is an original RCA Victor release of the Fistful of Dollars soundtrack. So yeah, Ennio Morricone on that wonderful RCA Victor label. In really nice condition, jacket's really nice, and images from the film on the back. Yeah, not a lot really to be said about this. It's just superb stuff, and really pleased to get that. Okay, this was one I've seen showed a few times on the VC. I've been quite envious because I've never been able to pick up a decent copy or at the right price. I did see a copy of this whilst I was in Scotland the other week, at a antiques fair, but I didn't pick it up because it was quite pricey. And yeah, luckily I found this at Ben's up on his wall. So this is Good, the Bad and the Ugly. It's a mono, original mono pressing on that United Artists label. It's in pretty nice condition, a few marks and scuffs, but nothing that won't hopefully clean up pretty pristine like. And the sleeve's in really nice condition as well. That's an original flip back cover. So yeah, very pleased to finally get that into the collection. So already had for a few dollars more, so nice to finally have all the trilogy of soundtracks. Sticking with soundtracks, I've seen this a few times before, but never picked it up, and this was at a very reasonable price. It's one of my all-time favourite films. It's Midnight Cowboy. So yeah, Dustin Hoffman, John Voight film, classic John Schlesinger film, one of my all-time favourite films. Yeah, I love this movie, and I equally love the soundtrack to it as well. So it's on United Artists. Yeah, again, apart from a few hairline marks and things, it looks in pretty good condition. So yeah, I mean, obviously they've got the classic title song from Nilsson, and yeah, the John Barry soundtrack music to this. I used to have some of this actually on a CD compilation of John Barry stuff years ago. Always enjoyed it. Yeah, really pleased to get that. Okay, next one is a Birds album that I'd never heard before. I've seen it around loads. It's always fairly cheap. And yeah, decided to pull the trigger on this. This is Bird Maniacs. Not too sure when this came out. I think this is about 72, 73, something like that. So yeah, interesting cover here where they've all kind of got these kind of metallic death masks. Very obviously a later lineup here. You've got obviously still Roger McGuinn, Gene Parsons, Clarence White, Skip Batten. Interesting pictures in there on the gatefold. Yeah, I cleaned this up and played this last night. It's on that Columbia, early 70s Columbia label. Yeah, and it's not a bad listen. I wouldn't go so far as to say it's classic Birds. They sort of were fairly sort of twangy and country in flavour by this stage. But yeah, not bad at all. I'll probably need to give it a few more listens for it to really get under my skin. So, but say it was pretty cheap, so happy to add that to the collection. Okay, next one is an upgrade. I have never seen an original copy of this in such great condition. I've had this album for 30 odd plus years. It's one of my all-time favourite albums. But this is just the absolute mintiest, mint copy I've ever seen. So this is 10cc's second album, Sheet Music, and it just is absolutely just flawless. I see this record all the time, but never seen it in such good condition. There's virtually no spindle wear whatsoever. It just looks like it's never been played. This is on the original UK Records, Jonathan King's label, subsidiary of Decca. And yeah, fantastic. And yeah, pretty cheap, so very pleased to get that. Okay, moving on. Another one. I had picked up a copy of this 2 or 3 years ago. Unfortunately, it was pretty badly scratched and didn't play very well. So I was glad to pick up a better copy at the weekend. This is, I think, the Faces' second album, Nods as Good as a Wink to a Blind Horse. So yeah, classic stuff here with old Ronnie Wood and Rod Stewart, Ronnie Lane, and the guys. Fantastic bluesy rock. Doesn't really get a lot better than them. They just played it, I think, better than anybody else, probably apart from the Stones in this in the early 70s. And this is probably arguably their best album. You got Stay With Me was the single off this, and in lovely condition. Original green Warner Brothers. Okay, continuing on collecting early Moody Blues albums. I always pick these up when I see them in good condition. And this is one I've never owned before. This is their 1969 album, To Our Children's Children. I see this all the time. They're usually really battered. The sleeves aren't in good condition. This one's really crisp. It's got a little bit of a ding on the corner, but nothing to worry about there. I love that kind of cave painting motif on the front and the back. There's the gatefold with him in the cave there. And this is a really nice album. I particularly like this one. It's got Higher and Higher, Eyes of a Child, Gypsy, Justin Hayward's songs, fabulous. Mike Pinder out and in. Yeah, really nice record. This is on that Threshold label. It doesn't look like it's been played much at all. So I think I paid £5 for this. So very happy to pick that up. Okay, to the 80s now. This is one that I've had on CD for years. Love this record. And been on the lookout for a decent copy on vinyl. Doesn't come along too often. Excuse me. So when I did see it, I snapped it up. This is the Funboy 3's second and final album, Waiting, from 1983. So obviously, yeah, Terry Hall and the two guys from the Specials. Produced by David Byrne. It's wonderful. Murder, She Said, More I See, Less I Believe, Going Home, Farmer Connection, single Tunnel of Love, Our Lips Are Sealed, which was a Go-Go song, although I probably prefer this version. Well, Fancy That, great, fabulous lyrics, very witty. Some obviously sort of political comments from the time as well. I think it's aged really well. The great songwriting, and fabulous listen. Okay, first jazz album I've bought in a while. Ben knew that I loved the Oliver Nelson album, the Abstract Truth, Blues and the Abstract Truth, and he had an 80s reissue of this, which is an MCA Impulse release. This is More Blues and the Abstract Truth. So looks like a slightly different lineup to the musicians that were on the original album, which I think was 61. I think this is recorded in 1964. So obviously you got Oliver Nelson, arranger and conductor, Phil Woods, alto sax, Ben Webster, tenor sax, Pepper Adams, baritone sax, Richard Davis bass, Grady Tate on the drums. And if this is anywhere near as good as the first album, I'm really looking forward to giving this a listen. So it's on that 80s MCA label. Hopefully it'll sound decent. So I think it's an American US press, because it's in this kind of heavy cardstock sleeve. So but in really nice condition. So very happy to get that, and looking forward to giving that a spin. Okay, so this is one that I thought I'd pick up because I'm not a massive fan of the latest stuff of this band when they became a bit more intense, but their earlier poppy stuff I've always really enjoyed, and this is probably my favourite of those early albums. This is Black Sea by XTC. So original R Price Records label on there. So this is 1980. This has the singles, I think, Generals and Majors, and Sergeant Rock Is Gonna Help Me, which I always really enjoyed. So it's got a original lyric sheet with it. It's on a white Virgin label. So happy to pick that one up. Okay, a couple more. Another cheapie. Always looking to add to my Steel Span collection. This one is from 71 or 72, I think. Yeah, 72. So this is Below the Salt. I think this is a later reissue of this album. Lyrics in the gatefold there. Yeah, I mean, you know what you're getting with Steel Span. It's always enjoyable. Maddie Pryor's vocals. Obviously, the they take traditional songs and give them a sort of folk rock twist, and always enjoyable. And this is one I hadn't heard, and I streamed it the other week and really enjoyed it. So and it was very cheap, as are most Steel Span albums, so happy to get that one. Okay, and the last one was a really nice find. I've never heard this album, but apparently this is their best album. So I was very happy to pay a little bit of money for it, and it's nice sometimes just to have a real surprise and listen, something that you've never heard before. So this is the Walker Brothers, and this is their 1967 album Images. So yeah, huge Scott Walker fan. Always pick his records up when I see them. This is on the original Philips label, and paid a little bit of money for this, but it's in lovely condition, and records, original records on Philips label always sound great, and yeah, very happy to pick this up. So yeah, I'll be very glad to be giving that a listen, and happy to add that to my Walker Brothers and Scott Walker collection. So that's it, guys. Yeah, so hope everybody's doing well out there, not wilting too much in the heat. And so yeah, probably won't be doing a video this coming weekend, because I'll be away with my sisters, having a barbecue over the weekend. So yeah, I've still got a few things ordered coming online, which I will show in due course, hopefully when they arrive. And yeah, in the meantime, obviously hope everybody keeps well, keeps cool. Not that the weather's gonna last as it doesn't in the UK. I think it's going to get cool again towards the back end of next week. So, but we're never happy in this country. So, never satisfied. But there you go, guys. So all the best, and yeah, take care, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers. Bye bye.